World's worst thumbnail. These, what do you call it? Webcams are crap. They take crappy thumbnails. I wasn't ready. What are you going to do? Anyway. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to our 4 o'clock live stream. It is Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had as good a weekend as I had, because I did a lot of stuff this last weekend. And it's going to be going out over the interwebs here soon. Hello, Regina. Jeffrey. What's up, guys? What's up? Good to see you. Good talking with you too, Wesley. That was a fun time we had. I got another Knott's video coming out, by the way, on Fresh Baked. Maybe this afternoon. I don't know. I got to do some copyright work because there was a lot of music that I've got to clear out of the video. And I've got another video from Spirit Halloween for the Royal Dorks channel. You can check those out. But we met a lot of people on Friday night at Knott's. We met a lot of people. Ran into a lot of people at Downtown Disney on Saturday, too. Where's Liz and Sophia? Well, and I think Liz is actually in Downtown Disney right now. So what I want to talk, there's a lot going on news-wise, but I'm going to cover 4 things today. Call it your top 4 for news items going through the Disney pipeline, as it were. And some of it's really interesting, and some of it's a lot of nothing. Let me just check on chat. Camping. God, I haven't been camping in 100 years. Mara Parker says, Tim Trucker was at Universal in Florida this weekend, and it was crowded with a lot of people not wearing masks. You know, well, let's get into that. We got 4 stories that I want to talk about, and you guys can engage me on any one of these. But number one, we'll start with that one. Number 1 is that effective Saturday, Orange County was taken off the watch list. And we're going to go into this on more detail on Fresh Baked. I'm going to do a news video at some point between today and tomorrow to kind of cover what that means. But Orange County is off the watch list. And I noted what Mara just noted from Universal is that no sooner had they done that, did I start experiencing people not wearing their mask correctly at Knott's in Walt Disney World? I mean, Downtown Disney. And it wasn't a lot, but it was noticeable. Whereas in the past weeks leading up to this, there was I found zero, or maybe 1% failure, and that was just somebody drinking while they were walking, and they shouldn't have been doing that. But otherwise, everybody had their masks on correctly. But I saw a bunch of people wearing them below their nose. And I don't know why this triggers me so much. And it does, because, why are you even wearing it if you're going to do that? It defeats the whole point of wearing the mask if you wear it below your nose. Now, if I were to say to that person, why aren't you wearing your mask above your nose? You might as well not even wear it. And they said, well, great. I don't want to wear it anyway. So, take off. What do you say to that? I don't know. What do you say to that? Right. It's so they can say they are wearing a mask. They'll put it up while they're going through whatever, and before they go into a store or something like that. But around, they just drop it down. And I don't know. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I hope that now that we're off the watch list, but it's semantics, but now that we're off the watch list, I just hope that people don't start getting loose with how they, carry themselves in public. Because I would hate to see a repeat of what happened in July. You know, right? You don't want to see that again. Nobody wants to see that again. Nobody wants to go through that again. Get all excited, have a date. July 17th, we were supposed to be there. July 17th, we had a plan. We had a date. People were making, booking reservations. We're like, what are we going to ride next? Churros, the Disneyland Railroad. I want to watch the Dapper Dans. I want to go ride Space Mountain. Yoo-hoo! July 17th. No. They took it away from us. So let's not do that again. Let's not do that again, man. Just put your mask on. Even if you don't believe in it, just put your mask on. Anyway, OC is off the watch list as of Saturday. And so that's going to sort of trigger more plans, I'm guessing, more discussions. Number two, if you, I want to say, was it the Mice Chat article? Avengers Campus. We saw some great footage or great photos of Avengers Campus recently on Mice Chat. And one of the things, if you read the article, because I just look at the pictures usually, but I did notice that Avengers Campus is going to be ready. It'll be ready in 4 months, which is, I thought they would be ready sooner. I don't know why I was thinking they'd be ready. I'm trying to remember what my prediction was, and maybe it was December, if I recall. No, that's about right. Yeah, 4 months is about right. If you do the math between when they were supposed to open and how long we've been closed. So look for Avengers Campus is supposed to be done in 4 months. That's December. By the way, while we're on this topic of construction, I heard a rumor. I can't stop saying that now. Do you guys watch Umbrella Academy? I can't stop saying I heard a rumor without thinking about that now. I heard a rumor that they hadn't been working on Snow White, or if they were, it wasn't extensive. They haven't been working on Haunted Mansion, but they are now. And that they're fully. I thought Snow White was done already, but no, they're still working on Snow White and they're still working on Haunted Mansion. Okay, so that's number two. Avengers Campus, 4 months. Number three. Yeah, we got some Umbrella Academy fans in there, I see. Number three, salaries have been restored to those executives who were taking a pay cut at the onset of the closures. There was a lot of discussion about the pay cuts that the executives were taking and what that meant. And this is a curious thing. I'm going to dig into this a little deeper, I think, also in the news segment. What does it mean that salaries are being restored to the executives who had their salaries cut? It's got to mean something, right? To me, whenever I hear news of any kind, it means something. It always means something. There's a layer to just about all this stuff. I got to stop and read this one. Liz Hanbury says, David, you make good sense, have pleasant voice, and are enjoyable to listen to. Well, thank you very much, Liz. Cut it. Chapek cut his own salary too, Margaret. He did. By a lot. Yeah, I guess that means that they're not doing terribly, right? They're not broke. If they're okay to restore salaries, it means that they're not worried about, losing all their money. All right. And then number four, just before this live stream started, I reserved a spot at a merch event being held in downtown Disney next week. I think it's next week. What is today? 24th. Yeah, next Wednesday. That they're going to hold at downtown Disney at the ESPN, the place formerly known as ESPN Zone, a merch event. And it got me to thinking about Disney's approach to creating show us guests while we're closed, and how that differs from how Knott's, for example, or Legoland or SeaWorld. By the way, SeaWorld is set to reopen under the zoo guidelines, which are interesting. You can go to SeaWorld, but no attractions, no rides, no indoor aquariums, no inside dining. What are we doing at SeaWorld? I guess just the dolphins and the whales, I guess. Is that it? But no penguins. By the way, I asked and I didn't get to see any response. Are we allowed to go to SeaWorld? Because I'm not big on, that whole social movement. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion, I guess. But I wonder if we would get completely flamed if we went to SeaWorld. All right, so I'm going to check the comments now and see what do you guys want to talk about? What are those 4 things? I heard a rumor. Let's see. Who said cast members aren't getting paid? There are cast members on furlough or who have been, let go, I guess. That's a thing. But it's not like they're working without pay. They're getting paid. Who says they're not getting paid? There's some weird opinions out there. People misunderstand things completely. That's curious. Because, the people who did take pay cuts, the executives, they were still working. They showed up for work every day. Willow Beam says there's a 14-day system where there has to be under 200 cases per 1,000 people in the county. Do you think that there's any way that could be applied to Disneyland specifically to get it open quicker? Well, the Orange County is doing pretty well. California wants the counties to be under 8%. And the last time the numbers that I saw was 5.5%. In terms of, what do you call it? Positivity rate of positivity. How many cases are resulting in a positive? And Orange County is currently at 5.5%. And the state wants you at 8 or lower. So I think there's some wiggle room there. So I mean, Disney's going to fall, or Disneyland is going to fall in where everybody else does. They're not going to make any, well, I say that, and then you got Taste of Knott's and Taste of Calico. So I don't know. I don't know. That whole thing confuses me. The Taste of Knott's thing confuses me. Love going, but it confuses me. Let's see. Tim Dude 84 says, do you think the prolonged Disneyland closure could be politically motivated? Tim Dude, everything is closed. Okay. I mean, come on, man. Or everything was closed and things are still closed. There's lots of businesses out there that aren't open. To think that people want businesses to be closed for political reasons baffles me, because everything revolves around income. Everybody's job revolves around people earning a living and then spending that money on stuff. Okay, that's the whole point of capitalism. The capitalism doesn't exist without that concept. Work, get paid, spend your money on it, and it's just a cycle that goes around. Why people would not want that to be the case? Why people would want to, commit commercial suicide like this for what political gain? I don't know. That's a mystery to me. Evan Layton says it also means they expect to soon start making money again. Well, that seems to be, a decent inference to make. They're certainly not expecting to lose a bunch of money, that they feel comfortable enough to do that. So they must have some kind of idea that revenue will be coming in soon. I'm getting from the hotline. Pop Mike just texted me on the hotline. We're at 5.7% positivity rate. Orange County's at 3.5%. Is that right, Pop Mike? 3.5%? We're doing well. We're doing well. Just keep your mask on. That doesn't mean to stop doing what you're doing. It just means keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so let's see. Disney sibling love. I keep seeing an article regarding plexiglass at turnstiles, but weren't they already there? Yeah. People are creating news and hype over pretty much anything these days. And two sites, I think, put that information out. Yes, this is new plexiglass, understood, but it's not a new development. It doesn't mean anything. Just like the fact that they are taking reservations for September 16th at the hotel, it doesn't mean anything. They installed plexiglass a month ago. Installing plexiglass today doesn't mean we're going to open. It just means that they're installing plexiglass. Taking reservations on the 17th doesn't mean we're going to be open on the 17th. It just means they're taking reservations on the 17th. People are so hyped and worked up. They're just looking for juice somewhere. It's incredible. It really is incredible what's happened to the Disney news cycle. We're struggling. I was just thinking about doing a whole video on this pin event that I'm looking at it on my computer over here. I was thinking about doing it. I might still do it because I'm not trying to say this is just how desperate some sites are for content. I was thinking about doing a whole video reviewing or previewing the pins that are going to be available at this special event on I'm going September 2nd, I think. You guys want to see that? A Disney merch event where you buy Disney merch. Yes. Let's see. I wouldn't call it wishful thinking. I would just call it, please read this article. Here's the thing. Please read this article. Okay, well, we got 4 people who are going to watch this video. Okay, so if I make a video about the pins that are the limited edition pins that are going to be offered at this merchandise event, I got at least 5 people who are going to watch it. So that's good. We're good. Yeah, I guess it is wishful thinking for us too. I try not to read in too much because, God, man, how many times have we been stuck in that where we get excited about a thing and then it doesn't happen? Willow Beam says, do you think there is any way Disney can open a part of their parks like Main Street or Buena Vista Street and make it similar to Downtown Disney? There is a way, but there's 2 things that have to be at play here. Either one of these, either they're lacking permission from the state of California, or 2, they don't want it. One of those things, or both, have to happen. Yeah, both. Knott's did it, but it's very likely that Disney has just chosen not to. That's not their bag, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. Hey, there's Kiki. Oh, good. We got 6 people now. 7. What is wrong with me? I just want to make videos, you guys. That's all I want to do is make videos. Okay, so by the way, if you're just joining us, we've got 4 topics. Okay, top 4, even though it's now 4:20, 4:18. OC is off the watch list. What does it mean? Avengers Campus is opening in 4 months, or will be ready in 4 months. Salaries have been restored to those Disney executives who had their salaries cut a little bit back when this first started. And there's a merchandise event coming up next week at Downtown Disney at the ESPN, the old ESPN restaurant. Does that interest you? Do you want to see a video on that? I'm going to definitely film going there, but do you want to see a video of me previewing it and getting all gushy about all the limited edition pins, which as I look at them, some of them are really nice. Even though I'm not a big pin guy, I do appreciate a good one. Alan Beckman says, OC off the watch list. Anaheim cases are still high. I don't think that they do it city by city. I don't think. Do they? I'm pretty sure they were referencing it by county. San Diego County was taken off the watch list recently. LA is still on the watch list, that kind of thing. I don't know if they're doing it city by city. That would be really hard to do, to be honest, city by city. That would be hard to do. So, and who knows what that's about, why Anaheim would be higher. I mean, I've seen some cities that were pretty high and some that were really, really low. I went to, what was it? Huntington Beach. Nobody's wearing masks, but it's still pretty low. I don't know. I don't get it. Here's an interesting thought. This kind of dovetails with what I'm thinking. The Ethrian Machine says Disney won't open Main Street because it would devalue the park ticket, in his opinion. And I think there's something to that. I feel like maybe Disney's thinking that's beneath them. I don't know if it is or not, but maybe that's their thinking. Like, if they had the opportunity, but they're still not doing it, because it would be kind of a, it's sort of this backwards jerry-rigged situation. But they're not against doing jerry-rigged situation. They just had a special event at the Haunted Mansion, right? I don't know. I only saw the thing on Disney Food Blog. I guess they went and had dinner at the Haunted Mansion at the actual. So they rigged the table, and then a bunch of really lucky people got to have dinner in the ballroom. I mean, it certainly wasn't built for that. Yeah, Margaret Anglade says they could easily hold a foodie event. Yes, they could. They have. They've, although the kiosks are the key at DCA for food and wine. They have the kiosks. I don't know. They wouldn't have those necessarily at DCA now. They may have already taken those kiosks out. Plus, at Knott's Berry Farm, they're making all that food in their pre-existing kitchens. There are no kitchens along the parade corridor in DCA, and there are no kitchens. Well, there's very few kitchens on Main Street, but there's a reasonable amount of places you can go on Main Street if you were to do this. I shorted it the first time I talked about this. I missed a bunch, but there's Carnation Cafe, Jolly Holiday, Coke Corner, the corn dog cart, the Plaza, Starbucks, and then you could put carts out there as well, churro carts and things like that. So there's I think there would be enough to eat there on Main Street. They don't need carts. Actually, on that note, Margaret, I think it might be easier to do a Taste of Knott's style event at Disneyland than it would be to do it at DCA. Just checking some comments. Karen Cox says, I think before Disney can reopen, the surrounding counties need to be off the list too. Well, Karen, where do you draw the line? I mean, they're already drawing a pretty big line with the county instead of the city. So now you want LA, San Diego, Riverside? You want them all off the list? Which counties do you want to take off the list too? I think your thought is so that those people don't come in, because obviously people from San Diego and Riverside and LA are going to migrate into the park, and that's a given. But you just have to accept that. That's going to happen. That's just going to happen. Fun Times with Feifei says, yes to merch event, yes to SeaWorld. I think the parks will open by October or when Avengers is ready. David, your voice is the best. I 100% think they could do a foodie thing. They have done a foodie thing. And they could. I just think that they don't want to. That's all I'm saying, man. And that's kind of like, we got this merch event at Downtown Disney at ESPN Zone because they're trying to create some other kind of, event for people to go to. We have turned in, us vloggers have turned into going shopping at Downtown Disney as an event now. That is an event. Liz and I were talking this morning. We've got three more plans to go to. We got another plan to go to Downtown Disney on Friday, and then another one after that in September. And you couldn't get me to do one video in Downtown Disney last year. Now I've done 7. I don't know. And I'm ready to do more because I don't make anything. I just want to make videos for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on previewing pins that are going to be for sale really soon, or not for sale at a merch event for limited editions. It's exciting. Okay. Kay Garofalo. Hey, good to meet you at Taste of Knots the other day. I forget the first name. I want to say Kevin, but I think it's Kevin, right? What do you think of the OC Fair doing a drive-through food event? Well, Kevin, I thought about that. We looked into it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. Does anybody know the price points on that thing? A drive-through food event just to get the fried crap that you could get at an OC Fair. I mean, it sounds interesting because that's half the reason why people go to the fair is to get fried stuff on a stick. I just don't know, man. Is it worth it? Is that a thing? We already booked one of the drive-through haunts. We booked a drive-through haunt in, I don't know where it is. Not the Stranger Things one in LA, but one like it. We're going to do that. We might do the Stranger Things in LA. I don't know. I'm thinking about the drive-through food event. I just can't decide if it's fun. Okay, where was I? Kevin. Okay, good. Thank you. Regina says, if Disneyland isn't open in October, come up to Halloween Town. I thought Halloween Town wasn't going to happen this year. Is it still happening? Because Liz and her sister were thinking about doing a trip up there, but they canceled it because they figured it wouldn't happen. Okay. Virtually Chris, why can zoos be open but not theme parks? I don't know. I don't know. That's the question I was asking 2 weeks ago, and then everybody yelled at me in comments. What's the difference? Really, honestly, what's the difference? Okay, open up the park, but don't let anybody go on rides. We'll do. If SeaWorld can open under zoo rules, so should Disney, unless they don't want to, which is a thing. I wouldn't knock Disney for that, for saying, no, we want guests to be able to go on Pirates of the Caribbean. Can you imagine going to Disneyland and not being able to go on Pirates of the Caribbean? Yes, I can, because I used to do it all the time. But I wonder if they think the rest of the people feel the same way that I do, because I'm a freak. And I could go to Disneyland and not ride a single ride. I could just sit there on Main Street for hours on end and do nothing but listen to the Dapper Dans and the sound of the streetcars, which probably wouldn't be running if they opened anyway. What's the difference? I have no idea. I have no idea what's the difference between the zoo and SeaWorld and Disneyland and Knott's Berry and Taste of Calico. I have no idea. I have no idea what the difference is. It's crazy. Okay, checking comments. Okay, Selwyn says because theme parks have rides. Right, okay, fine. Then don't open the rides is what we're saying. If they're going to open the zoo to just experience whatever you can experience and visually see, that's great. I think that's a great idea. Let me go walk through the zoo and I'll look at a lion and I'll, hey, lion. I don't have to go on the attraction. Same thing at SeaWorld. If they're gonna open up SeaWorld, but no aquariums, and no rides, that's the same thing as the zoo. Let me go to Disneyland and not ride rides. I that's fine. That's fine. I'll do that. Okay. Cheryl Miller says the difference is 100,000 people. Well, okay, so don't let in that many people, Cheryl. That's all you got to do is say 4 of you can come in, fresh baked, and then you could bring 3 friends. Okay. I know, you limit it. That's all you do. You limit attendance 20%. We're not trying to open the thing wide open. Disneyland is okay. Scott Zuki, open air zoos. Disneyland is open air. It is. It doesn't exist indoors. It's open air. Disneyland is open air. There are aspects of it that aren't. You just don't open those. I don't know if it'll be for the same price. I mean, as a pass holder, I guess I don't care. But you would think that they would. You know, this is an interesting situation. It's quite an opportunity for Disney to determine what the true demand is of their park and at what price points. Because we've had this discussion many times about supply and demand at Disneyland, and you know, Disney trying to find that balance between price and availability. Could Disney fill the park to whatever level they want it to be full, 20%, 30%, at full price with no attractions? That's a question for you, Fresh Baked. Would you go to Disneyland and pay full price without rides and attractions? Vanessa says, because you're not touching everything. People touch things no matter where you are. If you're at the zoo, if you're at Disneyland, if you're at Downtown Disney, Taste of Calico, the mall, Subway, Target, Walmart, you name it, people are going to touch stuff. It's no different at Disneyland than it is anywhere else. There are plenty of people touching plenty of things at the zoo, I promise. I am so positive of that. And I know we're looking for reasons, but this is what I'm saying. I can't find any that are actually logical. You know what? Scott Zuki said Disney just sent furlough extension notices to many parks employees. Yes, I got wind of that as well. Laramie texted me and a couple other friends that I know who are cast members, and they got the same thing. It doesn't mean what it means. I think there's still hope, even though they did it. There's still plenty of hope. Eric Sapp says the stores are indoors and the rides are indoors. The only thing left to do is just walk around and look at everything from the street view. A, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. 2, you can still go in the stores. They haven't said you can't go in stores. They said you can't eat inside, but you can still shop. World of Disney is open right now. World of Disney is open. They would open up the stores at Disneyland for sure, positive. Now, you may have to queue up a little bit to get in there, but it's going to be open. And I'm sure the same is true at SeaWorld. You can't not do that. Okay. Megan Verba says Disney should be open like Knott's, be open for the Disney food. Well, as I mentioned previously, I think that Disney is choosing not to. Unless there's a reason why they can't, which that doesn't make sense, obviously. Because if Knott's can do it, then Disney should be able to. I don't care what loopholes you want to talk about. The two things are the same. Disney and Knott's, they're the same. But the one possibility is that Disney doesn't want to. And so we have to consider that. Oh, okay. So I asked a question a while back. Would you go to Disneyland and pay full price without having the attractions open? There's a 3 no's, 4 no's, 2 yeses. Mostly no. Wow, mostly no. That's surprising. Sorry. I'm getting buzzed. That's surprising. I would have thought I'd see more yeses there. I really did. Evan Layton says the Disney Cruise Line will not be coming back for at least a year. You couldn't catch me on a cruise. There's no way. That's just a petri dish. No way. There's no way. There's no way. Okay. Raisin says, how do you find out about the events that Downtown Disney holds? Well, I don't have somebody just linked me on Twitter. I suppose I should. I can't. I have a hard time keeping up with that kind of stuff. I don't know things in advance. People just tell me, and then I figure out if I'm going to go. Let's see. Yeah, Fun Times with Feifei says, if I did not have an AP, I would not go for full price. Well, I mean, luckily that's not a decision we have to make, but I think that's it seems to be a popular opinion. Let's see. Marty Snyder says, your problem is with Disney. They are not wanting a half opening. Unions are an issue with a half opening as well. That is not the case at Knott's. So that's something. Yeah, right. There has to be some other reason. Because I can't, you just can't logically get me to agree that there's a difference between Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland. And I think that there is something. Does Knott's, I assume Knott's has a different union than Disney then? Dale Bunner says, wouldn't pay for that crap. What? Since when is Disney crap? What are we talking about? Why are we here? Disney's not crap, man. I mean, I get that it'd be less value, but Disney's beautiful. I love Disneyland. It's beautiful. I would want to go and look at it. I want to see the rivers of America. I want to see a boat go by. I want to, ride the canoes or take a raft to Tom Sawyer's Island. I want to walk around New Orleans Square and hear the sounds. I want to see a character. He could be from a distance, but I just want to wave at him, and say hi. Maybe he's hanging out at Tom Sawyer's Island. I don't know. I just want to go to Disneyland and feel that feeling. I can't get it at Downtown Disney. For one, they play commercial music in Downtown Disney, and it drives me nuts. I want to hear Disney music. I want to go to the Esplanade and hear that music. That's the only place I can get it. I can't. All I can do is look at the dang gate and get sad at Downtown Disney. Just let me in. Just let me in. Okay. Knott's had no union last I heard. I could be wrong. That sounds crazy. Really? That can't be right. Regina says that's a good point. If the only people willing to go are the APs, then Disney wouldn't make as much money. Well, they're still making our monthly payments. I wonder, I think you could fill the park to 20% with APs only. I think you could. Well, I don't see why not. Margaret Anglade, I would go just to see the ducks at Disneyland. Cheers to that, man. I want to see the ducks at the hub. I'm being still again, sorry. JR says, David, you have to come to the terms with the fact that you place way more value in Disney without attractions than most people do. I understand that. I don't have any difficulty getting that. I know I said I'm a freak. I'm a weirdo. I'm not your average guest. I'm definitely not. But I will say this. I think that there are 20,000 of us, of people like our subscriber base is full of people like me, full of them. That's the reason why people watch this show, is because we are of a like mind. That's not everybody, obviously, but there's enough of us. There's enough of us. And this is the question that I'm asking from Disney's part. Do they think that there are enough of people like me to open at full price with no attractions? I think it's an interesting question. But certainly there's plenty of folks out there who won't go. I was surprised by the ratio here. It was like maybe 80-20 in favor of and saying no. There's one right there. Christine Leonard. Disneyland is about the ambiance, and I would totally go right now. Yeah, Jolene, I think there are plenty who are Disney total dorks. Yes, sign on the sign. Yes. I just walk. I'll do a loop. I've done that twice, 3 times. I filmed it, just walking around filming the loop, man. Aaron Chavez, I'm a weirdo too. I will pay for Mulan when a lot won't. It's all worth it to support Disney to me. There you go. Margaret Anglade, I disagree. It's the feels of Disneyland, not the rides. We're not the majority, but there's enough of us. There's enough of us to fill the park to that number that they want it to be filled to, I think, at the onset. If they want to grow to 70, 80% capacity, then you're going to need the rest of you. But for now, there's enough of us, I think. Okay, let the vloggers in. Right? Come on, man, let us in. Aaron Chavez says, I'll go, but the train and monorail must be driving around. Well, I think we might get the train, but I don't think we'll get the monorail. The train is open air-ish, but the monorail closed in, too much stale air. They won't, too much, they can't operate the monorail. I don't think. But then again, they are at Disney World, so maybe I'm crazy. Maybe they will do it. Scott Zucki, I'd pay $200 to stay at the Disneyland Hotel and do a morning walk through the parks. Now, here's the thing. One of the things, going to Taste of Knott's and Taste of Calico, it was great. But one of the things I wish they would have done is run the vehicles. Because it's going to be different. If you walk through Disneyland and there's nothing running, it's going to be different. You need to hear those sounds. They don't have to necessarily have the people in them, but I want to hear the sound of, the monorail go by. I want to hear the sound of Big Thunder making that turn. I want to hear that acoustic stuff. So I don't know. It would be weird a little bit. Let's see. I'm trying to find some comments that are specific to our 4 topics. Our 4 topics in the last 15 minutes. OC's off the watch list. Avengers Campus is going to be ready in 4 months. Its construction will be complete in 4 months. Salaries have been restored to those executives who had their salaries cut a little when this thing started. People don't seem to want to talk about that very much, or Avengers Campus. And the merch event coming to Downtown Disney at the ESPN restaurant, selling pins. So I'm going to try to answer those questions. Mickey Mouse Churro says Avengers Campus opening in December then. Yes, it sounds like it. So it also sounds like if they were to open in October, that Avengers Campus wouldn't be open, which makes sense, actually. I don't have a problem with that because you don't want to open Avengers Campus to a limited field. That's a land. You actually do that in order to create more attention to your park, not to have people just barely go. So, and this is the reason why some of that stuff that they were planning to open at Walt Disney World, I think, like the restaurant, is not opening, even though it's ready, I believe. Peter Darmanian says Orlando's theme parks are open because that is how the city gets its income. Disneyland has all of the outside fast food chains, restaurants, and Angel Stadium. Peter, the city of Anaheim gets its income from Disney too. There's no doubt about it. They are operating at a deficit right now. The city of Anaheim is. I think, as a matter of fact, they had to. I can't remember what the number. There's an actual number, and it's a buttload. They got some relief from the feds. I think they qualify for some assistance through whatever the stimulus thing. But the city of Anaheim is desperate for income right now. Yes, Khaleesi, Nicole, do you have to make reservations for the pin event? You do, yes. And they're probably already booked because I had a hard time getting the one that I got for Wednesday at like noon or something. Regina asks, can Avengers open if the park is limited capacity? Well, it can. I just don't think they want to. I think you want to have some sort. I mean, imagine, opening Mulan in theaters and nobody showing up. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but I get why they would want to wait maybe too. I don't think they're in any hurry. There's somebody in here pretending to be Newsom. That's funny. COVID first, fun second. Okay. All right. This thing scrolls funny. That's why it's hard for me to find comments. What's Merch Pass? May the Porks be with you says Merch Event is way better than Merch Pass. Merch Pass is the worst. No bots and it has limits. Is that like an online thing, like Shop Disney or something? Scott Zucki, LA County is still on the watch list. My neighbors are still throwing house parties. Wesley Dernbach, didn't Walt Disney World lay off employees, but yet the executives are getting their full salary again instead of their cut? They all got. You can't. That's not how business works, Wesley. If there's nobody in the parks, or if there's not enough people in the parks, you staff your business based on attendance. It doesn't matter who's making money in the executive offices. You just don't have people employed and working and not doing anything. It's just, why would you do that? It's unfortunate, but that's how it is though. Has there been any construction on the ESPN zone? I went inside of it in January for a school workshop and it seemed pretty intact. From what I understand, yeah, Josiah, they're using ESPN zone as a place for rehearsals. I think probably for your school thing as an example. They use it as an entertainment rehearsal area, I believe. So I think that this pin thing is not going to be in the whole building. It's going to be just a little section of it. Might even just be in the gift shop at the exit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, if you've been to the ESPN zone, but they have a gift shop as you leave the place. And it might just be there because it's just pins. You don't need a whole building for pins. So I'm sure it's just a small little area that they're hosting this in. The rest of the building will be just like it was. Let's see. Yeah, Kelly Mellinger says it's still a business. People like to forget that part. Well, I mean, I get it. I get why. I don't want these people to be out of work, but I also don't want Disney to just throw away money. People want Disney to just pay people for not working, but they also scream that they're bloated. I mean, you should hear the ranting going on some forums about how bloated the Disney company is. The Disney company, and this is a true thing, is fat. It's super fat. And in the way that they need to go on a diet. And this was supposed to be a good excuse for the Disney company to shed a few pounds, to get rid of redundant positions that don't do anything, just completely irrelevant job titles and things that just don't, what is your purpose kind of thing. Now, I don't know the inner workings of the Disney company well enough to speak on this, with any sort of intelligence. It's just things that I've heard. And it makes sense because this happens to lots of businesses. Lots of businesses go through this, especially ones that are successful. And they grow and they grow and they grow and they keep feeding on that success. And so everybody gets a job, everybody gets to, have all the perks and the benefits. And then before you know it, it's just fat. It's just super fat. And, now all of a sudden there's a little bit of, what do you call it? Things are getting rough, things are getting tough. And you realize, oh my God, look at all this stuff. What are we doing? And so it doesn't surprise me that Disney would need to do that. That's just, you got to run your business profitably. That's the whole point of being in business. Christopher Baker, in your honest opinion, would it be worth it to drive 6 hours to go to downtown Disney? That's subjective. That's up to you, man. I wouldn't do it. I would go. I have a hard enough time going to Universal, which is about an hour and a half away. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, so 6 hours, it depends on how much you love Disney. You know what I mean? Answer that question. How much do you love Disney? It's really cool sitting in the Esplanade. I'll say that. I really enjoy being in the Esplanade and hearing the music and just looking at the entrance. I do enjoy that very much. In fact, it's even better now. It's interesting. It's more fun just to sit in the Esplanade today than it would be if the park were open. Because it'd be full of people and chatter and noise and tension and there's an energy to it, but I very much enjoy the sweetness. When you go to the Esplanade today, it's kind of romantic. There's love in the air. It's tender. I don't know how to put it, but the people that are there because they have a reverence for Disneyland, and it's almost like it's like going to Mecca or something like that. It's a religious experience, and that's how it feels sometimes when I go there. Like you just want to be near things. It's like going to Jim Morrison's grave, So there's a different quality to going to the Esplanade today than there would be if it were open. Okay. Yeah, we got some. Yeah, Christine Leonard, Mecca. Yes, serene, absolutely. Appreciation. What would you add to downtown Disney to make it more of a destination in its own? A character from a distance. The corn dog cart, like somebody else, I think it was Nathan who mentioned, put the corn dog cart out there. And a character, occasional, in and out. Let's see. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, Christopher Baker says change the music. I would definitely change the music at downtown Disney. I do not like the loop. I would just rather they play the Esplanade loop in downtown Disney. I don't know why they don't. There must be a reason. Uh, 5 minutes to go, guys. MK80 says, I wish Rainforest Cafe would come back to downtown Disney, but probably a long shot now. I think the problem with Rainforest Cafe is Rainforest Cafe. It's not Disney. The food's crap from what I hear, and it's barely a fun show in terms of being in the jungle. The whole idea of themed restaurants like ESPN Zone or Rainforest Cafe, things like that, died or is dying. So I don't think that the Rainforest Cafe's problem is that Disney, that they're the problem. Gordon Farmer says, David, do you think that with the parks being closed would give them time to work out any kinks in the stunts? Well, yeah, I think so. I hope so. And there will be some. Guys, when Avengers Campus opens and they start doing the Spider-Man stunt show, don't miss it. And I'll tell you why. I mean, not because it's going to be great, although I think it will be, but because this is the kind of thing that lasts a very brief time and then they stop doing it. They'll do it for a while the land is new, kind of like the Indiana Jones thing. Remember when there was a stunt spectacular for Indiana Jones in Adventureland? He would run around and do stuff. Don't miss it because it's going to go away because the tech will fail and it costs too much to do this or that and the talent and et cetera. So find ways for it not to continue at a certain point. Indiana Jones themed bar and grill in the rainforest. That's interesting, Scott. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could. I guess they tried to do that. They have a stage. I was thinking about a Mad Tea Party style event in downtown Disney. That they have that stage right there at the old AMC theaters. It's not a lot of energy around that stage. It's the kind of thing people ignore. But I mean, you could probably do a pretty interesting, nightly show there. But they're closing it at 8. They're closing downtown Disney at 8 during the week and 9 on the weekend. So I'm not sure. Oh my God, that's our first call. Hold on. I can't believe we went a whole hour without hearing that. Maria Orloff. I really missed the all-you-can-eat buffet thing that used to be right next to Big Thunder. Yeah, I missed that. That's been gone. Even that wouldn't have lasted through the COVID era. You can't put the stage in the Esplanade because, first of all, it's really gross. The stage is not attractive. And it would look weird in the middle of the Esplanade. Sorry. Yeah, and it would have to stay there. You can't take it out. You can't just take it out and put it back in again every night. So I don't know that that's possible. Let's see. The world is subject to human error. Nothing. It's not perfect, man. We're all getting by. This. It's working at home COVID era. Dude, I'd love to see the Dapper Dans somewhere in downtown Disney. I would love that. That'd be great. I'll put that in the list of things to do. All right, well, we're winding this thing down, so I will use this time to remind everybody to like this video on your way out as you exit, the 552 of you that are here if you haven't already. Subscribe here on Fresh Baked Presents and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are notified that we are live. We do these Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. And then subscribe on our main channel at Fresh Baked. for trip reports from the park or downtown Disney or whatever it is that's going on these days. Maybe a merch video here and there. And to subscribe on the Royal Dorks channel. That's my third channel. With me and my wife, Liz, we do home vlogs. We went to Spirit Halloween. We're putting that video up later today, for example. Super fun stuff that we're doing over there. Or, catch up on what's happening with Sophia, our little daughter. And then just stay tuned for more. And we're going to be here. We got lots of stuff coming for you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Respect.